So, like, no formal action, but they're taking volunteers, apparently.
Yeah.
No formal action outside of Ukraine for many nations wanting to intervene.
If there is no, Western forces willing to at least somehow, to some extent, even the playing field. Like, if they could even the playing field, not even necessarily with soldiers, but making the no-fly zone, that would be, like, the first thing they'd do.
But here's the question. Would Putin push the button?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, there are Russian soldiers like shelling, active artillery shelling a nuclear power plant right now.
That's another thing.
In what is it? Kharkiv? Is that where it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's another thing to me. Like, you're a Russian soldier. Putin is not down on the ground, shirtless, horseback, like whipping you, making you do this.
I miss shirtless horseback Putin. I miss those days.
Yeah, like that's not happening. So you know what you are doing, and propaganda. At some point, people have to own their ownness.
Right.
And the fact that they're just like, this seems like a good idea. Let's go in and let's just start bombing apartment buildings and nuclear power plants. Because, we're far enough away 2 miles down the road, right? We'll be like, and we can't blame the Russian people to the extent,
their fault. No.
To the extent that they have not.
Props to the 7,000 who have been arrested for
Yes,
protesting.
but how many people are in Russia? Like, no, if this is going to end any way other than Russia becoming Nazi Germany, the Russian people right now have to do what the Ukrainian people are doing, but they have to do it inside their own country.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, protesting is cool, but at the end of the day, what do words do?
Yeah. Not a whole lot, as we've seen.
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's basically criminalized. Just being out in the street is
so
already...
is shooting people. So, like, if you're going to be arrested for saying words, do something.
I don't know. It's a lot to call for on behalf of just an everyday Russian citizen.
Yeah,
but
we're expecting a lot more from the Ukrainian citizens because they're not even fighting for, like, they're fighting against an invasion. These people are fighting to keep themselves safe. The Russians would be, and...
Well, so the question is, should the U.S. intervene at all?
That's the thing, because, I mean, it's like nuclear war is on the table.
But the thing is,
if we do...
But U.S. is the only one that has that ability to intervene. Because we're the only ones who have enough nuclear power to take on Russia. So Russia would know that if you do this... mutually assured destruction, like the world will end. Like, you're not getting away from this, we're not getting away from this, no one's getting away from this.
And that's where the stalemate comes from. It's like, it's the end of the world if these two nations clash.
So, but that's why the U.S. is the only one that can do it. Because it's either we end the world or we sit back and we watch Russia take over the world. Those are our two options.
That's... I don't know. I really don't know what I would do as like maybe establish a no-fly zone. That's the most I could think of to be as a world leader. But I really don't know, because this is the most high stakes it's been since the Cold War. So
yeah, I mean, if the EU was to actually take in Ukraine.
I think there is like
it's on the table. Yeah. Now they're working on it.
Yeah, maybe, and that's another thing. Like, why do we have the UN? I'm sorry, this is like the most BS club.
It's worse than Mar-a-Lago.
Like, what is the UN? It does nothing. Like, again, words. That's bad, Putin. Like, ugh.
We have NATO. That's the one thing that kind of prevented us from defending Ukraine, is that they're not a member of NATO.
They wanted to be. See, that's another.
They did.
That's like. Again, like, we're like, we know you, but we don't know you.
Right.
Ukraine knew this was coming. And the thing is like, all these other countries that were part of the USSR before they broke it down, they know that it's coming next now. Some of them are a part of NATO. I don't know how we picked and choose which countries we were like, yeah, we'll be friends with you. Then Ukraine was right up against NATO, or right up against Russia. So we're like, sorry. But they wanted to be a part of NATO, and we just said no.
No.
They wanted to be part of the EU. We said no because they wanted to be part of things that they knew.
Right, but you broke up the Soviet Union, so we can't join. No, you can't join us. Sorry.
This also
stay down there.
This also definitely puts Trump's first impeachment trial into a whole new context.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm I'm gonna hold up aid to Ukraine, but like, can you just like start an investigation as a favor into Joe Biden? Like, no.
No.
And then it also puts to me January 6th in a whole new light. Because what if Trump literally had called in the National Guard and been like, all right, support the people who are trying to get Mike Pence and hang him? Would they have? Because like, my mind was always like, well, yeah, but they wouldn't have done it. Like, the troops wouldn't have done it. But these Russian troops are bombing a nuclear power plant, not that far from it. So, like, maybe they would have. Maybe it literally just takes one person on top to be like, all right, everyone, let's go do this. And everyone's like, hey, we're going to do this.
I don't know if that would happen because like Vladimir Putin's been in office for 22 years. He has like he casts an enormous shadow over Russia. I think there would be enough blowback for that not to have happened on January 6th. But I mean, let's talk
about that for a second.